What's up, guys? It's Scoopman 5000, and in the words of The Rock, finally, we're back with another wrestling figure review, and today, hot off the truck from Ringside Collectibles, we're looking at the Firefly Funhouse Elite Exclusive Bray Wyatt, and this is very exciting, mostly because of those puppets that he comes with, but also we do get a great presentation here, so we'll go over that first. For those of you who keep him in on card, it's a bit of a disappointment because he's got this perforated flap in the front that you need to open. So I'm going to break the seal. First time, we're going to open this guy up, and inside that's going to reveal the Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt, a nice window, and then you see all the puppets in the background, so really cool stuff there. On the bottom, of course, it says Bray Wyatt. On top, Ringside Exclusive. On one side, you're getting all the puppets. And on the other, a nice render of Bray. And then on the back, you get an image of Bray actually from his first appearance on the Firefly Funhouse. And then you get a nice long read-up. You can pause that if you want to read it. But with packaging out of the way, let's get to it. Let's enter the Firefly Funhouse and open up Bray Wyatt. And here's the Bray Wyatt out of the packaging, and accessories are the name of the game with this figure, but before that, we are also getting some alternate hands. So in the box, he comes with these opened up hands, and then also included, you get the good old gripping hands. But if you remove those hands entirely, you have room for the hand puppets. But if you remove those entirely, then you have room to place the puppets on his arms. And those puppets, obviously, are Mercy the Buzzard, Abby the Witch, Ramblin' Rabbit, and the Boss, otherwise known as the Vince Puppet. And these things are pretty amazing, pretty true to life. I bring in Abby the Witch and Mercy the Buzzard right now, and you can see they're pretty close to what you see on TV. Even some nice printed details for the shirt here on Mercy. And you know, this figure, Bray Wyatt, it's pretty simple. Not a whole lot of new parts, but you know, the money really went here with these puppets, and that's really the coolest part. You have some official Mattel scale puppets for your Bray Wyatt. And then I'll show off Ramblin' Rabbit and Puppet Vince. So Ramblin' Rabbit especially is awesome. He's probably my favorite just because he's a funny guy. He's even got like a darker gray for the fur, and then the head is lighter, so there's attention to detail. These things are really awesome. The paint's good, like I said. And then that goes the same for Puppet Vince with the devil ears. You can see he's got like the puppet mouth. And all these puppets, you can see the hole there. It actually goes right onto the arm. So you just remove a hand. It's going to be the same shape, more or less. And, you know, the puppets just kind of insert there. And also for accessories, in the box, the background actually does count. You can actually take the background and create your own Firefly Funhouse right behind Bray Wyatt. And there's no real way to attach them, but there is kind of some holes you could do here. So you could insert your Mercy the Buzzard into the box. Kind of can get away with it like that. Abby the Witch obviously would go in the window here. And then Ramblin' Rabbit over at the TV. I guess Puppet Vince would have to be at the front door by him. Overall, it's not the greatest of effect because you can't really attach the puppets anywhere. But just as a background on your shelf, this is really going to spice things up. And once we get to the point where we have so many Bray Wyatt figures, this is going to be a really nice backdrop to make a Bray Wyatt display. So I wanted to throw that in here. But getting a closer look at the actual figure, the head sculpt here is the same one from the basic. If you go back a few months, I did review this guy. And here you could see them kind of side by side. I think the body is overall better on this one, and obviously the sculpted collar. This is definitely more of an iconic look. This is just the elite version, but this is accurate to an outfit that he wore. It's the one that he actually wrestled in at like Money in the Bank or something like that. Or maybe it's when he wrestled The Miz, but he did wrestle as the Funhouse leader, and this is what he was wearing, the black pants, no collar on the shirt. But just in terms of it as a figure, it does come off a bit simpler than the basic actually, which usually it's the other way around. But the paint here, it's comparable to the basic. It's actually a little bit darker in terms of the hair and the beard. He's got the light bun with those dreads tied back, and then the neck tattoo looks great. And for paint, that's about all you're gonna get, other than maybe the neck here looks like it might be painted on this torso, because what you're getting for the rest of him is a red top and then some black pants. Now, when they showed off the prototype for this guy, there was like a belly button sculpted here. It's kind of like how they do it with the women's figures a lot, where they just paint on a shirt and they don't actually sculpt it. At least here they did cover that up. I feel like you can almost see where they covered that part of the sculpt up. But at least all the red matches, you know, the shirt matches this. But it looks like a very tight shirt on Bray Wyatt. You see the muscles over here. I guess it's to get that elite articulation in there, and they didn't want to sculpt new parts, but at least a new upper torso I think they could have afforded to make. So you could see more of that like neckline of the upper torso. Maybe this wouldn't be so tight looking. Also to note, if you compare him to your Fiend figure, he's a lot slimmer. The upper body here is crazy different. So that shirt is like really squeezing him in, I guess, because especially when you go to the back, you can just see how much bigger the back on the Fiend is. So that might bother some people, some sticklers for scale. It bothers me a little bit, but how much else can you say about a red tight shirt? Going down to the pants, it's a similar situation, and these we've probably even seen before. The real baggy pants that Mattel always makes for these guys. These are like, nobody's wearing pants like this. These are like some 90s bell bottoms or something like that Mattel always seems to make on these figures, but it works, I guess. It's black pants. These might even be the same pants that they do on like the original Bray Wyatt's when he was wearing the white pants, and I have that figure to compare in just a little bit. And then going down to the boots, we actually do get a little bit more paint, unexpected, some silver details on the shoes, but overall that wraps up kind of the look at this figure. Now we can go ahead and do some articulation, and with Mattel Elites it's all going to be the same. So the head is on a ball joint, you're getting all the rotation, looks back that much, and forward that much. He's obviously getting some tilt. The torso is on an ab crunch, goes back that much, and forward that much. Then the shoulder's on a swivel and a hinge, you get the upper bicep cut, single jointed elbow, and then you get a hinge and a swivel at his hand. The waist is going to swivel, and he's splitting that much, about 45 degrees. You do get an upper thigh cut here. You do get a nice double jointed knee, and then you get the slightest bit of ankle rocker, and then the hinge at the foot. And overall, that's going to cover the Funhouse Bray Wyatt, so now we'll go ahead and do some comparisons. As always, here he is with the basic Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. And then here he is with an elite Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, and maybe a little small here for Bray Wyatt. You could definitely tell he's way too thin, but even the height, I feel like he should maybe be in the middle of these two, and not so much close to Seth Rollins and completely dwarfed by Roman. Because when you bring in some Fiend figures, and one of these is top picks and one of them is Elite 77, but there's no difference. But you could see, like I said before, the big chunky upper torso on the Fiend definitely matches Bray more. And then the height is just a little bit taller. And then here he is with some other foes. We got Braun Strowman and John Cena, some recent elites. And then finally, here's the Funhouse Basic. And I definitely think that the pants are the same as his original elite, at least retooled a little bit. But you can see because of the torso that both of these figures are taller than the exclusive. But overall, that's going to do it for your look at the Ringside Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. Overall, very fun with the accessories and with the Funhouse background. But the figure itself really isn't all that special, and I think that the body shape is really throwing me off because when you put him next to the Fiend, it really just doesn't look right. But I still gotta recommend this one, and especially if you're a psycho like me, I want to get every Bray Wyatt Fiend. I want to get every Bray Wyatt figure, period. So for me, I gotta include this one, but just know going into it that there is just some little issues here and there that prevent this guy from being perfect. But overall, in concept, still a very cool Ringside exclusive, and I think the puppets alone are worth the price of admission. So good to finally have some wrestling back on this channel. We've been doing a lot of Marvel, DC, things like that. But there will be some more wrestling coming soon. We got plenty coming from Ringside. That's the thing with wrestling. It all kind of comes out at once. So pretty soon we're going to be getting Elite 80. I have Bayley and the Viking Raiders on the way. And then those Ultimate Editions of The Fiend and Hollywood Hogan, those are ordered already. So anything like that, any new wrestling figures, you're going to want to stay right here on the channel. Of course, we're also doing Marvel Legends, DC Multiverse, anything like that that's going to pique my interest. You can go and look at the catalog so far. But I'm going to go ahead and do some figure photography with this guy, which should be a lot of fun. You could check out that and a lot more over at Instagram, scoopman_5000. But I'll leave you off with some photos here, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next action figure review.